Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is our Thursday podcast and gaming news. How's everybody doing?
I'm good.
I'm fine.
Think we're all doing
Good, good.
how are
So, introducing everybody, Pat Jazzy Moto,
Hola.
Mega Elixir,
Hey,
and of course me, the OG, Double M, and Sir Rich.
you?
How you doing, Rich Rich?
I'm here.
And like they say, last but not least, the one.
How's everyone doing? Hope everyone's having a great day and having a great week. The week is almost over. A couple of more hours, and we'll be into the weekend, I guess, playing games and having fun. So, since we're going to start off today, I want to, before we start getting into the serious topics, which some of the topics this week will be based and focused mainly around what happened at Microsoft's presentation to the EU to actually close the ABK deal so they can get the approval from the EU, the CMA, which is not probably going to happen too soon, and the CMA. I think they present something to the CMA next week or the week after. We're also going to discuss the hate mob media that is anything Xbox bad. Everything any other organization is good. I just feel as though we need to discuss that and get everyone's opinion on that. Second, we're going to discuss Sony and Google's resistance to the ABK Microsoft acquisition. We're going to discuss nVidia and Nintendo signing tender agreements. We're going to have a brief discussion on, if we can get to it, Atomic Heart and the fact that the Ukrainian government would like Microsoft, and people correct me if I'm wrong, Microsoft, Sony, and Steam to stop selling the game on their platforms because of what Russia is doing. And we're going to discuss Sony's state of play and what we thought of that, or those who looked at Sony's state of play to see get their thoughts and opinions. I have a couple of thoughts on a couple of games. And basically, if I miss something, guys, let me know, but we're going to try to hit those topics first. So that being said, we're going to start with Lady Jazz and find out what she's been playing.
This week, Monster Hunter and Resident Evil 3 reboot. Now, can I count that as beating the game once you see the credits roll?
Yeah.
So, okay. So, beat Monster Hunter. And I beat Resident Evil 3 Remake over the weekend. So.
You beat Monster Hunter Rise?
Well, yeah, with the credits roll, like when I hit level 20.
When you get to 20.
That's what like, does that count? Because I saw credits.
Yeah.
So
You beat the main story.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so that and Resident Evil Remake, that's it.
Okay, that's good. It's good gaming for the week. We don't have to play 1,000 games. But you did beat a game this week, which is great. What about you, Sir Rich?
Oh, I just played Monster Hunter. A little bit of Diablo too. Nothing else.
Diablo. That's good. Okay. I know we all played together, Jazz, Sir Rich, and myself. We had a good time playing Monster Hunter.
Thanks for the help too.
Yeah, that guy's good. We had a good time, and I wish we had more hours in the day, but it was getting late for us. What about you, Mega?
well, okay, since we're counting this, then yeah, I guess you could say I technically beat Monster Hunter Rise. Though that wasn't like this week. That was like a few weeks ago.
No, we can't count. We can't count that because you did. That was last week. So you beat that last week. We'll give you credit for 2 weeks ago, but you did beat him. Okay, what else?
Okay. I beat Psychonauts 2.
Oh, really?
Nice.
That's good. Nice.
Yeah. Then I've played Tales of Vesperia and Splatoon 3. And yeah, that's about it this week. Yeah.
Okay.
That Splatoon be keeping you up at night. I be hearing you.
More like I wake up in the middle of the night, then my brain decides, I want to play Splatoon 3.
Aren't you lucky?
I know. Just hey, that's very lucky. I wonder why. But anyway, I wonder why. I say it must be nice. Must be nice.
Mhm.
He still ain't sharing any pizza, but it must be nice.
For real.
What about you, OG?
I really ain't played nothing.
That's not
But
true. That's not true.
Yeah,
well,
that's definitely not true. No, I saw you.
Yeah, I know because your gaming score went up, so I know you played
did
something.
it?
Yeah, it did. Don't.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna tell you one thing. You want to know why? Part of the reason why is because of Psychonauts 2.
Oh, you playing under his account?
Yeah, I started that game.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
See, but I did download Shadow Warrior. Hey, I like Shadow Warrior. Shadow Warrior 3 is pretty good. Um, Mega put me up on Yoshi's game. They have a demo out there on the Nintendo Switch. I think
On
you guys
what
will like it.
Yoshi?
Yoshi.
Yeah.
That's not.
What?
I can't believe you forgot this character's name.
Well, he played something like Yoshi. Okay, what else? OG.
And what else?
We don't know.
I
That's
thought it
why.
was something else. Well, I think it was something. Oh. And Sir Rich put me on. I
Yeah,
already had Diablo on my wish list, but
but
he had told me it was on sale, and I was like, I was
yeah,
been waiting for the sale. It's
yeah.
$20.
We heard that you were waiting and you tried to blame somebody because it's you barely got it. So yeah, we knew you had that on the Switch,
Yeah, on the Switch.
but
So
you have it on the Xbox because we, like you said, Sir Rich and I was talking about that yesterday. He doesn't remember that we all played that. And you were right. We played that, all played that together. I
we
remember
did.
that.
We beat it together.
Yeah, it was me, Lady Jazz, Serge, and you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I told him that.
yeah.
I think
I
we even had Darius in that.
may have, but I know we
Mm-hmm.
were all playing it. That was fun. So what else you played?
And that was about it.
Okay. Let's see what I played Full Throttle. Probably going to beat that this week. Uh, Battlefield, as I always play it every week. Lady Jazz, Sir Rich, and I played Monster Hunter. So in addition, I beat that too because I'm level 50, so I beat it. I'm at 58,
Nice.
but that's thanks to my friend that showed me all the easy, fastest ways to level up. So that was fun.
I'm proud of you guys. I really am. I'm proud of you guys.
I knew. Oh. I thought he was about to say some shade or something.
No,
Oh,
no.
you thought he was gonna be shady.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, like, I'm glad you weren't shady, Double. Did you get all your achievement points for the week, OG?
Nope.
That's
I
sad.
need to check.
Yes,
I need to
please,
check.
please get those free points.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's all that I played this week. Or did I play anything else? No, that's all I played. Make sure I got my Microsoft points for the week.
Oh, did you download Hot Wheels Unleashed?
I downloaded that 2 weeks ago when it first came out. And I played a
Yeah.
couple. I did 2 or 3 races in that. That's fun. That's real fun. That's something I play like if I got 15 and 20 minutes before I go to sleep.
Yeah, something like that's
Yeah,
cool.
I'm not going to invest a lot of time. That's something I just do when I, just when I waste some time or kill time. So, with that being said, let's start off with a couple of our topics. We're going to get to the heavy topics last, but let's start off with this topic that is, and I want to get your thoughts about it, how you guys feel about it, because what this topic to me is it's hard. What do you guys have you guys played Atomic Heart? And what do you guys think about Ukraine asking or requesting that Microsoft, Sony, and Steam stop the digital distribution of the game because they are Russian or part Russian or they're Russian developer, let's say that, or was or is. And it I want to get your thoughts. One, did you play it? Did you download it? What are your initial thoughts? And what do you think about Ukraine's request? So let's start with you, Double.
I downloaded it. I haven't played it yet. Haven't started it, but I do have it downloaded. And I think Ukraine is it's kind of wrong because those developers left Russia. They're not even in Russia no more.
Is that factual?
Uh, from what I heard, that's all I can say.
What they're
From what I
called?
heard,
They're called mudfish. Mudfish.
yeah, Munfish.
Okay.
Yeah, that's from what I heard.
Okay.
So
And
I don't,
you're saying
I don't think this
I'm gonna give you a
right to
okay. Go ahead.
Mhm.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I want you to finish your point.
no, I don't think it's right to ban the game.
Okay.
The game didn't start the war.
True. True. Okay. So you think that Ukraine is wrong, right?
Yeah,
Okay. And you think they're wrong because Munfish is not in Russia anymore. And it's also developed by Focus Entertainment, right?
exactly.
I'm asking, I'm just asking. I'm just trying to make sure. Okay. And therefore, with that information, you're saying Ukraine is wrong.
Yeah, and they're not.
Okay, keep going, keep going. I'm just listening.
It's a political thing. We
And
leave the game and out of it. That's a political thing.
Okay. Okay.
That's my thoughts on it.
That's your thoughts on it?
Yeah.
What about you, Mega?
Okay. Well, the first thing I want to talk about is do I think if it's wrong or not,
Well,
that they
did
want to
you
like
play the game? Did you play the game yet?
no.
Okay. So yeah, say if you played the game, then give your thoughts, please.
But yeah, I haven't played the game. As a matter of fact, I'm completely clueless about the game. Nor do I have any interest in playing it. The only thing I know is that the setting is like in the Soviet era of Russia, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. The old USSR, Soviet
Yeah.
communist country, correct.
The Cold War.
If it continued into the future.
Well,
Yeah.
right. Alternate universe of
If
right.
if the USSR wasn't ever taken apart, and if it actually was able to succeed into the future,
That's why it's called Soviet.
or into the present day, rather.
That's why it's
Right.
the Soviet, not Russia. Russia, remember, that's communist. Technically, Russia today is not communist, which is a whole different can of worms. But go ahead, Mega.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about the game itself. Now, do I think that's wrong? Yeah, I think they are like taking it like a bit too far. It seems like they only want to like ban the game just because like it has Russian roots, and
Yeah,
it's not
I
supposed to
agree with
be
that.
like
Totally
yeah,
agree.
Yeah.
and yeah, it doesn't have to, and it's not related to like what's going on between those two countries in any other way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask Sir Rich, what are your thoughts? Did you download and play it? And what are your thoughts?
I downloaded it and play it. And I'm sitting here reading an article saying that the company that didn't prove that they don't have Russian ties by speaking out against what's going on in Russia, that's a mark against it.
You said they didn't?
They didn't condemn Russia for their actions. So that's a mark. The second mark is they believe that Russia might have funneled money just because it's Russian propaganda to funnel, to bring up like the country. So unknown monies may be involved. And as well as I'm looking, there's suspicions talking about how Atomic Heart Putin signed a decree that recognized 2 eastern Ukrainian regions. 1 year after, well, Atomic Heart released 1 year after the Putin signed decree. So it's like suspicions that it may be tied to Russian propaganda. So I don't know, because I'm on the fence. If it's tied to Russian propaganda, that's kind of rough, especially since they're not speaking out against anything. So they just kind of let it die down, or they haven't spoken about it yet. So I don't know.
I
It
think
seems like it's kind of sketchy by how they
or
treating it.
or they scared to condemn it.
Or they
I
just
think
don't want to condemn it to upset
let,
their secret investors.
let me say it this way, and a lot of people, if you're listening, going to pick up on it, and you guys going to pick up on it too. Then I'm sorry to interrupt you, Serge. Maybe
Oh, cool.
maybe they have family in Russia and they'll mysteriously
Mm-hmm.
fall out the window. Because a lot
Right,
of
right, right,
Oops.
Because they might have got out, but they can't
they
let them
but
out.
right, right,
let
right.
me let me
Whoopsie.
let me let me give my quick opinion on it. And I'm kind of like in the middle with Surge on this because a lot of people saying that the developers, and I can't support that, and how people are feeling that we don't let politics get in the game. But the whole game, when it starts off, is
It's political. It's a
it
political game.
starts off promoting the Soviet era. It didn't promote them being in Russia. It promoted, in a sense, what if Russia was at the top?
One.
What if the Soviet Union? Let me stop calling them Russia.
Yeah, true.
Let me call it the Soviet Union. And the Soviet Union had taken the alternate universe, meaning, hey, we are the top developers, we are this most advanced nation, and we went XYZ, so therefore we're supreme. Now people are looking at that and saying, well, Putin is trying to turn and has technically turned Russia back into the Soviet Union.
So
That
the Berlin Wall still up and all that stuff.
The Berlin Wall in Germany. But my whole point, they didn't say anything about that. My whole scare about this is the game promoting Soviet supremacy? So I can see how people are saying, well, it's promoting. And I only played the game a hot second because for some strange reason, I played it on my PC. I played it on my Xbox upstairs. I played it on my Xbox in my family room. And all three hurt my eyes. I told Serge that yesterday.
Yeah, and I compared it to Dying Light, and it looks
Yeah,
similar to that.
yeah,
That
and
blur effect in Dying Light affected you in double
right.
the same way.
I'm gonna try it again tomorrow. But the game seems interesting, but it is in the beginning promoting tech of Soviet supremacy because there are a couple of pieces of dialogue that speak upon Soviet, and they mention other countries, and they mention communist China. So to me, some of that is political. And
Yeah,
it
it
was
is.
very political in the beginning because they said something about the US, and it was a slight to the US because they said the US with unemployment because of all the robots shipped from Russia, something like that. Don't quote me verbatim, but they specifically mentioned China. Oh, China's good. He said, I heard China's great. And I'm like, okay, but then when it came to the United States, and this is the very beginning of the game, so I haven't got that far. To me, I can see I'm on the fence with it. I support the developers to an extent, but if you're telling me you're promoting the Soviet Union, you can't say your game is not political if you're promoting supremacy in the Soviet Union.
That's in a synopsis of the game,
Right.
Come on, man.
So I mean, I'm on the fence. I will tell people I'm playing it, so I guess it's kind of hypocritical. I'm being a hypocrite, but I can see Ukraine's point. I see their point. I can't say I 100% support it, but I see it. And is Munfish still in Russia? Still have Russian ties?
They didn't really say that. They just said they got in the beginning of the article. They just said that they possibly have money coming from Russia that funded the project,
No.
meaning that the sales would go back into their pockets.
Yeah, that's true. But
so they don't know where all the monies came to create the game. So that's an issue in itself, not knowing all the facts.
Technically, the money won't go back to Russia because any funds I think
It's been locked out. They've been
Russia's been locked out. I mean, Russia's been locked out. But I wanted to get you guys' opinion on that.
We got some shares in Russia.
Yeah, I didn't go yet, but I learned.
I'm sorry, you didn't go.
Nope.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's all right. Shoot, the discussion and Serge bringing up them points. I didn't know all that extra, so that really does influence my opinion on the matter.
That's why you said something in the beginning, because you said that's why. I'm sorry, that's my fault.
No, you're good. I'm on the fence. If all that stuff is true, then I can see how it's let me say insensitive. I haven't played the game, but I did watch one of my buddies play it last night. It looks pretty cool. Let me see. What does it say? Ending World War II 3 years early before superheading technological revolution. Collective 2.0 is a mass neural network designed for humans to control robots with their thoughts. That mess is scary. It's cool, but and then you tie in the Soviets with it. I don't know.
Now, to be clear, if you play the game, when you play the game, it is a political game too. And I mean, you can't. Can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, we can hear you.
You can't get away from the fact that it's about Russian technology and making them look supreme. A lot of games do that. I mean, but that was what that game was about. And I think when they put that in play, they were in Russia and they want to promote their country. I have no problem with that. But I think they started that in 2017, 18.
Yeah, they started it way before
Putin started going crazy,
being a bully and all that. Yeah,
bullying. That's the perfect word, bullying people. So I can see that point of view and how they wanted to promote. There's nothing wrong promoting your country and wanting your country to be good. I have no problem with that. But when you're trying to be dominant and be dictatorish, that's where I have a problem. Mm-hmm. But I'll leave that my political.
And also, is it like a Wolfenstein future where you got this hero going to dismantle this?
Right.
Is that the story?
Right.
We gotta play it.
No, like
yes. I watched it and finished it. Slightly.
But also you gotta remember also science gone wrong in the robot world. I think they were trying to say robots taking over and everyone go down that route as well.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, I just wanted to get your guys' opinion and get a hot take on what you guys think, because none of us have played the game totally throughout. And I always will go back to this is not a Wolfenstein, just from what I see. And meaning that I'm going
working with them,
I'm gonna
trying
tear
to
it
stop
down.
the robots, like the robots going awry, and it's like, oh, let's get everything back in order.
Well, no, when I meant but what I meant by this is not a Wolfenstein, I refused to play Wolfenstein when it first came out. I wasn't going to touch that game because to me, in the very beginning, it was about I've just got the little thing about okay, here we go with the German Nazis, not Germans, Nazis taking over and their revision of what the world was like and if they had won. And I'm like, I can't do that.
But I'm saying it's the same thing.
Right.
And
but
that's in that regard. Like, an alternate future where the Nazis won, the Soviets were strong. So it's the same. But that's what I'm saying. It's like Wolfenstein.
Yeah, but the Soviets were on the same side as the US in World War II. The common enemy was the Axis power. So that's different to some extent. We're looking at the Soviet Union being bad at this point and because of the Cold War. But my point is that when Wolfenstein came out, because of what history was and the negativity of World War II and Nazis, I didn't play the game because I'm like, okay, now you want to say the Nazis won? That's like saying you did a game with slavery and said, okay, we're going to do a game with what if slavery? No, you wouldn't. Exactly. You took that perfect. That's the way it's a certain way. But then Double told me he didn't say anything. He just said, play the game. And I refused to play the game for at least a year or two.
Thank you, Double.
And then I played it. And then I'm like, oh, I got where they were coming from. I didn't get that vibe. For my limited time, playing this game. I didn't get that vibe, but I did get the vibe as soon as I played Wolfenstein. I'm like, oh, Wolfenstein's I beat all Wolfensteins. I even went back to start playing the first one. So I'm like, okay, Wolfenstein is good.
I need
I'm
to
like,
play
I
the
have
last one.
boy.
They said everyone said it
Wolfenstein.
was trash. I need to play it just to play it. Those some good games.
I can't wait for 3.
Yes, but I wanted to get you guys thoughts on that. So let's see. What was your thoughts on? Let's go to this good topic. Did anyone see the PlayStation State of Play, and what were your thoughts? Or have you heard anything about this PlayStation State of Play? Let's start with you, Double.
I haven't seen it.
You didn't see it? You didn't hear anything about it?
I heard it was trash. That's
Okay.
one thing I heard.
Well, that you did hear that, right?
Yeah.
What else did you hear?
And that was about it. That was about it. I haven't heard nothing really.
Okay, what about you, Mega? Were you up yet?
Well, first and foremost, I did woke up pretty early today. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, sir.
But no, I actually haven't seen it, and the reason why is because I kind of misunderstood at first. I thought they were mostly going to focus on PlayStation VR stuff, which I wasn't interested in at all. But apparently, from what I'm hearing, they showed like what Gotham Knights stuff.
They showed
If I'm not
Gotham.
mistaken.
No, they showed not Gotham. Was it not Gotham Knights? It was Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. They
Yeah.
showed Resident Evil 4, and they showed Baldur's Gate, and they showed Destiny. Those are the big games, and the rest was things that I would never touch. PlayStation VR games that did not interest me. And I guess a lot of people, let me not say a lot of people, a lot of PlayStation people who love PlayStation were expecting PlayStation to come out swinging. And I'll be the last person to go out and give my thoughts. So, Lady Jazz, what are your thoughts? And I see you got it on screen, but let me make one point and segue and keep this thought what Jazz has on screen. Why, if Microsoft wasn't selling, and we're going to get to this later, but hold this point, why do they have Minecraft Dungeons on PlayStation Plus?
Yeah, and it's been there.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's been there. That's the proof in the pudding right there.
Exactly.
They didn't take it away.
Hey, there you go. But yeah, I just wanted to we're gonna get to that later. I just wanted you guys to take note of that. But Serge, what were your thoughts on it? If you saw anything about it?
No, the only thing I was looking over while I was sitting there, it just looks like a lot of people were upset about the fact that it was VR games and they don't really have any like third party like main titles. It's all like games that shared across consoles outside of like
third party
Street
games,
Fighter,
right?
outside of Street Fighter 6 and even Resident Evil 4 at this point. So it was like Street Fighter 6 and Suicide Squad. That's all they got to really look for. That's like other than the VR outside the VR games. That's not cross play.
Okay.
And all like you said, all the games that I'm not interested in. I looked at Baldur's Gate 3. It never struck me as anything. I'm looking at this Wayfinder, whatever that is.
You couldn't pay me to play that game, so I agree.
From Suicide Squad, and you know me and Destiny. I'm the new one's patch is coming out, so I'm more than likely I already have it downloaded. I'm more than likely to go get back in that for a little while. But the only thing that got me excited was that I was looking at Cammy on that Street Fighter 6. I'm like, that's my girl. Like, girl shine. Ooh.
All right. What about you, Lady Jazz?
The only thing I can say I'm excited for, Resident Evil 6, and of course Resident Evil 4 remake. Nothing else really stood out to me. Yeah.
Did they show Final Fantasy 16?
They showed Naruto Boruto Ultimate.
Naruto Boruto.
Oh yeah.
But that's cross-plat, so.
Yeah, they showed what? 3 to 4. Well, they showed Baldur's Gate, and it implied that it was PlayStation.
There's probably special items you could download that they're gonna have because Baldur's Gate always come out on everything.
Oh, here they go, making it look like it's.
Yeah, they made it
One
look like it's
console.
exclusive. It's exclusive.
And
And
it just says which is getting a console release on the PlayStation 5. So Baldur's Gate was previously in early access on PC and will arrive on PlayStation 5 August 31st.
So that
it can
means
be on
we're getting it
PlayStation
too.
5. It can be wherever it want to be. I'm not playing that game. I have no interest in Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, I thought it was like Diablo, but it's not.
No,
It's like more
It is-
RPG-ish. Way more
it's
RPG-ish.
too turn-based to me, and I just cannot get into turn-based. That is just not my thing. My personal thoughts is I saw Resident Evil 4. Was that Resident Evil 4 or Resident Evil 6?
4.
I thought it was 4.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
4. It's
Okay.
4.
It was okay. It looked good. It looked good.
I mean, it ain't that
Krauser.
old. It's GameCube. All it
Yeah.
is like some graphic enhancement. Unless they did a remake like they did the other 3.
I
Like,
think
did
they
they
did a-
really change it, or is it just?
No, it looked like it was. I think they did it in that RE engine. So I think
But
it's.
is it a remake because Resident Evil 4 kind of recent? Did they just update it,
Well-
or did they do like they did with 1 through 3?
I'm not sure, but you just said if that was a GameCube game, they had to upgrade it and use it in that RE engine, that new engine that they're using for all their games, and it did look good. Looked very good.
I just
As
hope it's
far-
not watered
as-
down like 3.
Yeah, here's the
I'm sorry. Because
here's the trailer.
2 was excellent. 3 was good, but it just felt watered down, like a watered down experience. So as long as they don't
Did you
do
beat
that,
3 yet,
yeah.
Jazz?
Yep,
Yeah,
I'm,
I'm
looking
I'm on
at
my
the trailer
second
for it.
playthrough right
I'll
now.
put it in the lobby.
It looks
All
very
right,
simple.
let me switch over and pull that up. Hold on, viewers. Give me one
It
second.
looked just like the GameCube, but it's upgraded. That's all. I'm looking at it like I'm remembering playing this game while watching
Yeah,
these
I
videos.
I
thought it
just-
looked good on the GameCube.
It looks better, but I'm saying it just looks like a straight graphics enhancement, like no gameplay enhancements. Like I played a little bit of 2. I didn't really get into it.
You need
Like, but-
mechanics as far
I
as
guess you can.
Oh, one thing I
No,
heard.
like the game is different in 2. Like the game is different. Like you start in a totally different place. The game feels and looks completely different. Like you feel lost. Like it feels like a totally new game because it's so old. It's new.
I guess you could say that like the 1, 2, 3 remakes are like reimaginings.
Yeah, kind of like how they did with the Final
Somewhat.
Fantasy 7 remake.
I
Like how they did with
halfway-
the Final 7 remake.
I halfway
Okay.
agree with that as someone who's played the remakes as well. 2, they did pretty dang good. 3, like I said, it was decent, but I felt like it was watered down compared to the original. One thing I heard about 4, I need to look into this and see if it's actually true, because I knew it was a rumor, that they're removing the QuickTime instances. Like, when the boulder and all that stuff, and you gotta run from the, was it Giganados or whatever? So that's a big change.
okay.
I don't see
Well,
that
as far
link.
as like I said, Resident Evil 4 looked okay.
I put it in the
Destiny-
lobby.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
Destiny Flora looks so good. Destiny looks
And
so
didn't
good.
they just remake it on 4? Wait a minute, hold on. Let me. I hope
No,
this is a real
I'm
remake.
talking about the new Destiny that releases next Wednesday.
You mean the new expansion?
Yeah, the
You
expansion.
mean the expansion? Because it ain't no new Destiny 2.
Yeah, I'm talking expansion. I stand corrected.
But what was your question?
No, I was just saying. No, I was just saying I had to send Jazz. Do you see it now, Jazz? Okay. No, I was just saying they showed Destiny since they own Destiny. I mean, since they own Bungie, they showed
Bungie,
Destiny, Baldur's Gate, and then Suicide Squad. And I don't know, you guys, when you get a chance, watch the trailer because to me it looked like a big trailer in the beginning. The Flash acts a little bit too much like the Joker. He's too comical for me in the very end. I don't know if they're trying to make him take the place of the Joker as being a comical character. I didn't like it, but I don't think that game, mark my words, come back and get me on it. I don't think that game's going to do well. I just don't think the game, because it's a online 4-player game. I don't co-op.
Avengers.
Yep.
That's the
So I
way it
don't think
is.
it's going to do well. I don't think it really has a true storyline for a single player.
And if so, it's gonna be like one of them where you playing with all 4 characters, switching back and forth between them.
Is
I
this the
would
Marvel
same?
Ultimate Alliance.
Pretty
Is this
much.
the same team that made Guardians of the Galaxy?
What are you talking about?
Rocksteady. It's
Rocksteady.
Rocksteady.
Oh,
Rocksteady.
it's Rocksteady. Okay, it's Rocksteady. Okay.
Yeah, Guardians was
The people who
Eidos,
made
right?
all the good Batman games,
Okay.
not
But
the one who took it all the way back to the original Batman games that were slow and heavy.
Yeah.
well, let me say it this way. This looks like a forced Rocksteady game because this does not look like their pedigree as far as I'm concerned in reference to a Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think that multiplayer online is going to do well. It's not going to play well with the audience. I just didn't see it. It's nothing that's going to make me jump into the game because I just think it doesn't. The storyline, and I don't think it's going to do it. The storyline is not going to be great unless it's totally single player. I don't think
It's super fun arcadey action. That's the only thing that could really save it. Like we haven't had a good arcadey action game in a while.
I don't think that's going to be it though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it can manage to be that, but that's I hear you. That's what I'm saying. I'm hearing you.
Okay. So
Oh, this the Flashpoint Flash. Okay. He got the red eyes. Okay, I got you now. So this is the alternate paradox when Superman goes all wonky and crazy and murdering because the Joker got Lois.
He was killing people.
That's what it looks like. It looks like when the Superman. Well, not remember what happened. What turned him? The Joker finally killed Lois, and then he went crazy after that. So this looked like that alternate universe where Superman was Lois Lane is dead, and Superman just takes over the world because he's like humans aren't responsible enough. Fine, Kal-El time.
Yeah, he snapped.
And then all the he killed the Justice League that fought against him, and then he recruited the ones that decided to join him, and they all like straight murderers.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it looks like.
okay.
And this kind of does look like that Batman game. It's just faster pace.
You're gonna be running away from him. That's what's gonna in that game.
Unless they give you some kind of kryptonite suits. You go into Luke's factory and get all types suited up.
Superman was crazy.
Lex and Batman team up or something and give you a super suit.
Yeah. That was actually a good read also.
Flashpoint Paradox.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So overall, from what you've seen from a prejudice point of view, because none of us, I breezed through it. I wasn't impressed. And so I don't think any of you guys were impressed with the Sony state of play.
Nope.
If I can take that away.
No.
Oh, I did see a little piece of the with the Gran Turismo VR.
Oh, Ventura, you saw that? I didn't see that. I was breezing through things, so I guess I missed.
I think somebody posted a little piece on Twitter. They was driving around in the Camaro or something.
This is weird. How is this 4-player co-op, but everybody's doing something totally different and somewhere? It's weird. I'm looking at the video right now.
Like I said, it didn't impress me.
It don't because it's like they showing everybody separate, but you're all together in a 4-player co-op. And I'm seeing this number system in the corner, therefore it's got some kind of RPG element. But most of everybody like high flying, and it's all about being aerial. There's no real fight mechanics. It's like get rid of everything. Boom, move on. Boom, move on. Boom, move on. I have to see. It's like they doing that crackdown. They did too much and got little to show for it, you know. But it looks cool. It's visually appealing, but I don't know what the gameplay gonna be.
I'm not going to take away from the visuals. The visuals are rock steady, but the gameplay does not fit their pedigree on what they can do and how they play. The Batman series came out. Let's say that.
Hard to be Batman.
It's not a Batman, I'm telling you. That's
No,
why.
this is like a arcade. Everybody put their quarter in and jump in a game type game. This look like an arcadey smash 'em up. This look like a classic smash 'em up.
Like X-Men, the old X-Men.
If it
Yeah,
was
well,
made today.
okay. Well, we had enough of that because it didn't interest me. Like I said, I just wanted to get you guys' brief opinion on that. So we're gonna go to another subject, but it's the subject I don't know how to approach it because you guys know we're going to come back to the meat of it, but let's go to the abuse of media. Let's call it that. Because earlier in the week, as you know, we're going to get to the main topic, but I want to talk about the media bias first. Earlier in the week, Microsoft pleaded their case, and I'm going to call it plead. No, let's go to let's do it this way. Yeah. Microsoft pleaded their case. They went to the EU and they pleaded their case to the EU as to why the Activision Blizzard acquisition should go through. They said that, hey, in addition to showing that we are going to keep the game where it is, they opened up and said they're going to bring the game to place. I mean, the Nintendo, keep it on Steam, which they said they signed a 10-year agreement with each of them. And in addition, they signed an agreement to bring it to nVidia. GeForce, right? Is it called GeForce now?
Yeah, nVidia.
That's what's called.
It's
Yeah.
called, yeah. So they did announce they're going to bring it to nVidia GeForce Now, and they presented all that to the EU. And the EU stipulations were, and and someone correct me because I'm not saying anything verbatim, but one of them were the concern that Microsoft would dominate the cloud. And so that's why they say, well, if Microsoft dominate the cloud and put it on Game Pass, Sony has a competing service, but in the PC arena, only one is there is Steam, but they don't do cloud gaming, and then nVidia. So nVidia was concerned, so Microsoft made an agreement with them, correct? The EU said, hey, we're scared that you're going to close off the game, foreclosure, meaning it's only going to be on the Xbox console. So we're going to give it to Sony. Sony has yet to take an agreement because they want to take it to the bitter end. And that being said, so they made an agreement with Nintendo. They said Nintendo, then you had people, and I'm going to just bring all this stuff in. You had people saying, which Nintendo? Now, anybody with any common sense.
Freaking sense.
Yeah, let me just say, anyone with some critical, analytical, and thinking skills, let's say it that way, would look at it and say, well, too late in the tooth right now, the original Switch is from what, 2017 or 18? Microsoft,
March 2017.
Okay, Microsoft doesn't own them. So even if they own them, it'll be the end of this year. I mean, let's say in June or July. The drawing board and the game development for the Xbox Series X and the PC and the PlayStation is well in advance for the next iteration. Not the one going this fall, but the next one, the next game. So that is what they're probably going to put that in with the next Switch, I would assume. So let's say if they release it in 2025, 2024, 2025, I would say the Call of Duty would be 2025 on the Switch. The next Switch, not the original Switch right now.
Yeah, the successor.
Successor. Everyone was saying, well, they're lying, or what are they going to do? Put it on the cloud, and all the people came out without knowing facts and not even hearing. They just said, we're going to put it on Nintendo. That's all they said.
So they're not going to put it on the NES or the Super Nintendo? Hold on. Oh, they were referencing the Switch. Oh, my bad. They referencing the Switch. And how old is the Switch?
No, that's
Nintendo don't have a whole new system they're going to come out with a new system. Come on now.
It's waiting in the wings right now.
They always come out with a sneak card. They be like, sneak card, new system.
They be like, bam.
For
Wait,
just
I have a question.
Hold on. Let me
question.
Let me get these points out. You know, from a development stage, you have to know what future hardware is to develop for. Even if Microsoft may be under an NDA because of the next Switch, they probably do know about because of Minecraft, right?
Yeah, because
So
they
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 all
They know.
are
admit with
under.
Minecraft
They
they
know.
know it. Yeah.
So they could already have a rough draft of what Nintendo plans to do. And Microsoft knows. So they probably could have just said, we know we can, if we make this acquisition, we know with their rough draft hardware, we can have Activision Blizzard create Call of Duty. That's probably what they did. But everyone went and was making all these comments. My whole point was about these concessions that Microsoft made and Microsoft meeting with the EU. And go ahead and give your point, Meg. I'm sorry. I just wanted to get that off real quick before we move, go further.
But yeah, I was about to say, are you referencing the fact that on the CMA's documents,
No, EU, the EU document, not the CMA. They
oh,
met
okay.
with the EU this week, not the CMA. They meet with the.
Because like I could have sworn that like when they mentioned like, Nintendo's online service, Nintendo Online, they said it'll they said something along the lines of Nintendo Switch and redacted. And a lot of people were speculating what does redacted mean,
That means
you
it's a
know?
big black line over the information and you're not gonna see it.
Well,
Wait till
yeah, of
you
course,
later.
duh.
That's all
Right.
redacted means. It means it's information. Like if you look at a
No,
federal
no,
document, you see
no. He was
blah.
saying I think he was referencing actually what was the information that they covered, not the actual.
Yeah.
No,
That's
not
what
the
he.
actual redaction,
Right.
but like
No.
what is the actual.
Right. What's the verbiage behind that they hear? What is the language
What
behind?
they hid. What they
Right.
hid.
Usually it's like names or something, but sometimes it can be just basic information that's important, that's pertinent.
Okay. So my point that I wanted us to discuss is that Microsoft went there to say these are the concessions, and even with all those concessions, the media came out guns blazing with one article, and I'm not going to mention who they are because I'm not giving them credit because I just not going to do it. As if the deal is not a deal because Sony hasn't come to the table and it's not going to be a deal. Then you had somebody from another account going after someone at Activision Blizzard because they're like, well, Sony is being difficult. Oh, well, you're not professional. I am paraphrasing a lot of this, but it was
Go ahead.
immediate. It was immediate that the media and the gaming media were very negative, as if Microsoft has done something wrong or that Microsoft is lying. So I wanted to get. I'm gonna start with you, Double. What are your thoughts on how everything was presented? What are your thoughts on the overall information that you heard that Microsoft presented? Because, like I said, they and the EU, they made the concessions of what they're going to do. They showed, and I want to bring this out, and I'm gonna let everybody give their point, that Sony owns, which I've been saying forever, has 20% market share. I mean, 80% market share. Microsoft 20 in the, and we're going to use their terms, high performance gaming area market, right? Sony is 80%. Please explain to me what were your guys' thoughts on what Mike presented you? Do you think it was enough? And give your thoughts on the gaming industry's response. And what do you think about Lulu Chang and what she said? That's 3 points. Double.
The first one I was my first thought. I think Microsoft laid it all out. They laid it on the table.
Yes.
They made it plain. They made it plain to everybody. That's my first point.
The gaming media.
The gaming media. I don't know about the gaming media, man. I don't know if Sony is buying these people or what, but they pretty much. I don't know. I don't know what to say about the gaming media, man. Anyway, yeah. And the Juju Chang thing,
Lulu.
Lulu. I only heard about the Lulu thing, so you have to fill me in on that.
Well, let me give you the cliff notes. Someone from GameIndustry.biz made a dig at Lulu Chain, and they went, and a lot of other people went after her because she made her comments saying that executives shouldn't make the comments, and more or less she should stay in her place. That's the way I look at it. And they quoted her wrong, and they were quoted her as saying, well, she did this and she made these negative comments while the actual hearing was going on. And she came right out and corrected them. And she was like, let me just paraphrase, say, as journalists, you should be or have what I've always said, integrity. Journalism is not about an opinion. Journalism is stating a fact. If you're going to give your opinion, that's not journalism.
That's an opinion piece.
Is actually say what?
I said that's an opinion piece, not an article.
Right, there you go, an opinion piece. Right, and being a journalist entails you to write an article based off of facts. But if you're going to call it an opinion, you call it an opinion piece, and it says, and you basically explain why you have this opinion. You don't make it as fact, and that's what he was doing, and she kindly corrected him. And I had a field day with it because I'm like, she, and then somebody else. I can't find. I mean, I'm too much to send, but she lit into somebody else, and she didn't stop. And I'm like, okay. And then you look up her credentials. You see, she went to Yale. She probably know the lady at the FTC. I'm sure they had lunch together. Kamala.
Yeah.
I'm sure they had lunch. I think they all went to Yale. And she's a lawyer too. But I think she didn't go to Yale Law School. I think she went to another law school, but I know she went to Yale undergrad. So it was very interesting. And so those are your thoughts.
Yeah, that was my thoughts.
What about you, Serge?
The
merger.
You said the merger.
The merger. Do you think they gave enough facts?
No.
You don't think? Okay, then
I think the facts of the matter is, it's like whoever's accusing and whoever's being held up. I think it should be an open forum on both of them, not just the person trying to purchase, just like it's supposed to be. It's not enough information out here. Because if you saying that I am doing this, who are you to say why I shouldn't be doing this? If you're doing the same thing and you got a majority share, the market share, and it's okay for you to do, why are you telling me I can't do it? That ain't competition. That ain't how business works.
Well, the EU should do their due diligence and request said information.
Yeah, but they not, because
there lies the issue. Okay, and so that was 1. 2 was the media. 3 is go ahead.
We gonna do it at one. Media, no. Media been paid off since what, 2002, 2003 when it comes to gaming news?
Yeah.
We ain't had no real gaming news except for the people who do YouTubes. That's our real gaming news. And then it's just the highest bidder, like IGN. I used to love IGN. I got to a point to where IGN, I know what they're gonna say. they like, why watch them? They only good for when they release a video or a trailer or something. They useless with journalists.
That's about
Their
it.
integrity has been shot for years. Most of these mainline journalists that claim they're video journalists, who all they do is do paid off opinion pieces. So the media is shot. There ain't no real media. It needs to be a change in that. Period. And what was the last point?
Lulu, and she is really quiet. Lulu Chang going after the media.
Yeah, I think she's right. I agree with her. Like, if you really gonna be coming at me and saying stuff with little to no facts, and you literally just saying how you feel, like, we come from a time like original gaming news, you didn't have a preferred console. To be a real, true video game journalist, you have to be a gamer. You don't have no biases. You have to have the integrity of a journalist and just look at what this is, write down the facts, and then if you have your opinion in that, state it. Say that. But also give the facts so that your audience can make a sound decision instead it's the highest bidder. We change people's mind to how we want. Just the same thing with like PlayStation. How we got to all these PlayStation fans who think that PlayStation can't do no wrong. They haven't been like, I'm pretty sure y'all have called the service company and tried to get your PlayStation fixed. Like, there are flaws with PlayStation and Sony as a company. There's no company that's totally omnipotent, but these people act like it is. It's like we need more what's the word I'm looking for? We need more integrity. And we need more integrity and clarity and see-through.
Facts.
See-through transparency.
Transparency. Okay. What about you, Lady Jazz?
I totally agree. I like what you said, Sir Rich, about why not both sides share the info instead of Microsoft coming to the table. Oh, well, this is what we got, Everybody lay all the information out, compare notes, and go from there. What was the other one? The media?
Yes, the media.
Pretty much echoing everybody else. Nothing is 100% factual. And it's impossible, well, nearly impossible to get all the facts yourself, especially like if you can't get your hands on a particular game and you want to find out the stuff by yourself. But it's popularity and favoritism, and it's a money game. So, and go ahead, Lulu. Give it to him straight.
Okay. What about you, Mega?
Yeah, I do agree that everybody should, bring out the receipts. Though I still do think Microsoft should, win this, because like their receipts were like really good, they want to bring gaming to pretty much everybody, especially with Call of Duty.
I mean, now that you see that the tables is turning already, aren't they? You can see it. Yeah, you can actually see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else about the gaming media? Megan, what do you think about them? The biases, or if there are?
Yeah, I feel like if they're following what everybody else says, definitely what like Jazz says, especially like with people that, aren't like, into the space that much. Like we saw that news thing like a few months ago, if you guys remember. Like, do y'all remember?
What are you referencing? What news thing? Give context.
It was something that it was what Double M shared with all of us. I forgot what channel it was. But
Okay.
yeah, we'll just leave it like that.
You talking about he talking about the Turks. He talking about Young Turks.
Oh yeah, Young Turks, when they didn't have all their facts together. Okay, yeah, I remember that. And when they started,
Oh yeah, I was like last week or the week before or something.
A couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah.
So you're saying these journalists make statements, but they don't do their homework, more or less.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, did everyone hear? Yeah, Lulu. What do you think about Lulu?
Lulu Chen addressing the journalist.
Addressing the journalists, checking them. That's what I'm gonna call it. Checking them.
Checking that food.
Well, what I'm hearing from you guys, it sounds like she's spitting facts.
That's all she was doing, and she has a right to.
Yeah.
It's like, you come for me, don't come for me unless I send for you. That's what she was basically saying.
Ha. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but is that all you have to say?
That's all. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let
Just
me
an
give my
just an extra comment. Just an extra comment. Did we talk about that? They was talking about that Xbox should sell to Sony.
Oh, we're not there. No, wait a minute. Yeah, but then I think we didn't talk about that. But if you want to give your little point on that, go ahead.
No, I was just bringing that up, but
Okay.
yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay. I'm trying to remember everything I really wanted to say, but let me start off with this whole acquisition crap.
One topic at a time.
Right. The acquisition to me is funny within itself because if anyone goes to look up the EU as far as what a monopoly is or monopolistic practices, you would immediately say, why are we here? Looking at the chart on the screen, Sony has 80%. Everyone should play in their backyard. Don't come in my backyard. So the CMA should not be worried about what we do in the US. The EU shouldn't be worried about what we do in the US and vice versa. But you're seeing at this point, they're all trying to gang up and put these roadblocks in the way. And if you go in and you look up and you read up the EU's antitrust concerns, they're saying monopolistic. So some article I responded to and I copied the EU on. I'm like, well, if this is truly the case of being monopolistic, they should have went after Sony based off of their playing Sony's game. Sony is the one, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, that stated the high performance gaming market. We need to make sure we stay in that realm because they wanted to exclude Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
So they called it the high performance. And guess who else picked that up?
Oh.
Microsoft.
No, wait a minute. You're technically right, but FTC picked it up.
Mm.
And CMA picked it up. So they started using Sony verbiage and saying, well, Nintendo is really not part of this. So that's why I'm trying to put context to this little.
And I don't see how Nintendo's not part of this. That's mind-boggling.
No,
continue your point. I know you're going somewhere, but I'm just saying that's mind-boggling.
Right. The reason why I'm saying that is because Sony stated high performance gaming market. So they
set the standard now.
No. Listen to it. Let me get the point out. I'm going somewhere with this. Sony set the standard of calling everything the high performance gaming market.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, the FTC said, okay, we're going to call this the high performance gaming market. We're not going to include Nintendo. I think the CMA did. Even the EU did it. So that's why you don't see Nintendo. That's why you're seeing people saying, well, it doesn't make a difference. They're going to include Nintendo. But what you see on screen is since the EU, the CMA, and the FTC wants to start playing this game and saying that Nintendo is not included, the high performance gaming market, you took that term from Sony. Microsoft took that from Sony. That's why you see it. I think they say the IDC on there too. So if you want to call it the high performance gaming market, Sony has 80%. Mm-hmm. Is that not monopolistic?
And what's a monopoly? What 70 or 60% or more? 60% or more, right? Okay. I'm just making sure I remember correctly. That's all.
Let's say 70. Even if it was 70 or 75%. Okay, let's call it that. Then guess what? You're not doing your job because Sony is a monopoly.
75%.
No, I
just looked it up.
Okay, 75. Perfect. So Sony is a monopoly based off of the term but do you hear them saying anything? And I responded to the EU, and when somebody wrote an article, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna include the EU. You should be attacking Sony. Because based off this information, now the information was also provided, like Sergio said earlier, that you don't understand why they're going through this.
Mm-hmm.
Because everyone should present information. Well,
I understand.
No. What I'm just saying, they have presented the information. Microsoft gave all their information. Sony has given all their information. Only thing Sony has said and they got all the data. They got all the data that shows how much Microsoft makes in the gaming market, how much Sony makes in the gaming market, how much Activision Blizzard makes in the gaming market, how much of a percentage of Activision Blizzard is because you can go through the CMA documents, had all that. So I'm sure Microsoft, Sony had to present these documents. Why are we here? Is the question that I'm not understanding. Even if you say whatever, this is healthy competition. So I keep going back to saying this is all a political stunt. And even though Microsoft made all of these concessions by going to, because the EU, they're going to be caught in a lie. Their main concern was cloud gaming. Well, like you said, Double said it in the very beginning. Well, Microsoft handed off and said, hey, we're going to share it with nVidia. Well, you're going to make sure, the EU said, well, we got to make sure that you don't foreclose, meaning that you don't make this Call of Duty game only for your system. Okay, we're going to do you one better.
We're going to make a deal.
We're going to put it on Nintendo.
Say it loud and clear.
Hold on. But then what did the people say? Oh, you can't put it on Nintendo. It won't run. Okay. You can't keep throwing out these
moving the goalposts.
Right. Moving the goal. Thank you. Perfect word. They keep moving the goalposts for saying, well, you want it to be about access. This whole thing was about access and the consumer. If they gave it to all these different people and opening the market up to various consumers, how is that a bad thing? Oh, no, it's not a bad thing. You just worried about who got it. And I will say this till the very end. People get mad at me. But when I tell people and I post it, I am keeping my same opinion until the dotted line is signed. I still say it's hurdles, it's BS. Even in the CMA, it's BS. I'm saying even with the concessions, people see the data in front of their face. The data in front of their face, right? And they see Sony has an 80%, 20%. Yet, if you look at that article that is on the screen, it says Microsoft, no path to Activision deal without Sony, without Call of Duty. Okay. But he says, do you want to kill a deal and cement Sony's position? They are exactly right. And they putting that at the EU, because in my opinion, they have bent over backwards to appease one company. One company. Why are we here? That is I don't get it. If you look up antitrust regulation in any country outside the CMA, because to me, I think the CMA is bogus. But if you look up the EU, they're similar to the US. A lot of our rules, laws are similar, and they're not a monopoly. But you want to take Microsoft through this, but Sony is the one doing all this and all the anti-competitive things Sony is doing. But then again, I'm segueing over to the gaming media, right? What has the gaming media said about any of this? Has one gaming media said, let's pick on some? And I'm picking on them because I haven't seen it in Surge, Mega, OG, and Lady Jazz. Please correct me. GameSpot, IGN, Game Industry, VG Charts, Eurogamer, and if I missed any of them, please correct me. Have you seen articles from any of them stating, we think Microsoft is being fair? What is Sony's problem?
No, they just real neutral about it. Whenever they talk about it, they're just very neutral.
Or
They're
nothing.
neutral. They're neutral because it's Sony. But if it was Microsoft in the other way, they would say, why is Microsoft being difficult?
That's exactly right.
I can see that. Yeah.
That's my point I'm making. Why is it that Microsoft has to bend over backwards to kiss Sony's butt when I don't care? And Lady Jazz, did you get that message I sent you?
Let me check. Hang on.
Because I want you to put that on screen. The link.
It's in.
Okay. And everyone, while you're loading it, everyone goes into Microsoft is so big and all the acquisitions they made, they can't do everything, develop any gaming companies organically like Sony. That is the biggest misnomer I have ever heard in my life. People keep this narrative. Excuse me?
What is IGN doing? Oh, I'm sorry.
Slide.
You made me look up IGN, and they're comparing Microsoft to all the other acquisitions.
Wait a minute.
Look at
Hold
this
on.
list.
Hold on. Well, wait till Jazz put up
It's
what I put on the
up.
center.
Look at this big old list.
No, Jazz, put it on the screen.
It's up.
It's on the screen. It's on the screen. It's on the screen.
Okay, that's my problem. Is that people who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones.
Throw stones. Look at.
Because you sitting up here worried about what Microsoft has done, and I keep telling people, if Microsoft is $1 trillion company, then, and I own Sony stock just as well as Microsoft, and I'm saying that for a reason. I need to go after Sony and say, why are you not $1 trillion company with all these acquisitions?
Mm-hmm.
Look at all
they've been acquisitions for forever.
And they've been in business since 1946.
Yeah.
So are you going to tell me they always come after Microsoft for the acquisitions? Jazz, scroll down that list.
Yeah, I'm looking at what is it? EMI Publishing,
CBS, Columbia.
Look, I'm looking at $2 billion
CBS,
right there.
Columbia.
300.
I'm seeing major entities
wait till
on
you get to the gaming companies.
Let me keep scrolling.
DSC Media Group. These are major.
Oh yeah, they do own Funimation. That's
Funimation.
I forgot about that.
They did.
Yeah.
They just bought it like a couple years ago.
Oh wow.
Well, 5-6 years ago. Okay.
Yeah,
5-6 years ago.
Crunchyroll. Yeah.
Right,
And then Crunchyroll and Funimation combined like last year, the year before. So
yeah, but
that's big. That's big.
Let me get this out. The reason why I wanted Jazz to show that is because people always say Microsoft doesn't do this, Microsoft doesn't do that. But Sony is this company that we take a one-person development team and we grow them into this enormous team that make great games.
You know what? I think I know what it is.
That's BS.
I think I know what it is, and I could be
wrong. It goes back to the media. It goes back to the media because it goes back to our start point where I said journalistic integrity. If you really want to talk trash, do the research and say, wait a minute. This is, Microsoft has done a lot of acquisitions. That is true. But Sony has done a lot of acquisitions. And who is behind? I appreciate a company that is trying to, and this got to be realistic here. Companies are in business to make money and return value to shareholders. Not for you, not for me, not for the gamers. They're in it to make money for the shareholders. But if you're growing the money, growing and trying to make money. If you I'm not all for big tech, and I don't want to say that, but Sony is big tech too.
They equal competitors.
You know,
but they're not in the gaming sphere.
You're so right with the media. I get that, but I think most people, like just the average Joe Schmo consumer who doesn't really look into all this, they hear Sony with video gaming and they only think PlayStation. They don't think about all the other things, like this big old list we got right here. I think that's a big part of it.
Oh, they bring it up when Spider-Man's involved.
Look, Columbia Pictures Entertainment.
They bring it up when Spider-Man's involved.
And how many employees does Sony have? As of 2022, Sony has 108,000 employees. How are they not a big tech company if they got 108,000 employees?
If they almost got a 250,000. They almost had 250,000 employees. Wow.
I mean, please explain to me, why is it a double standard? What does a big tech company make? What is it that this, because you big tech, because you got a lot of money in the bank? So that's why we say, millionaires. So we'll call them a millionaire company, a trillion company, but they're big tech. So now you want to go after them. And that's all. This is a political stunt, because if you start looking at data, no one looks at data. And you see Sony has a lot of employees. Sony owns a lot of companies. Sony has screwed up in a lot of areas. People always talk about what Microsoft screwed up on. But guess what? They may have screwed up and they have learned. People always come after Microsoft. People act like Sony is this benevolent company. No, there is no company in the world that's benevolent. None. Microsoft, Apple, none of these companies are benevolent. No one is benevolent. But these game so-called journalists, you would swear that they think Sony is the most benevolent company that has ever walked the face of this earth. So that's my spiel on one, the media, because I wanted to tie all this together as best I could in such a short time. Two, to see how this acquisition goes, because I'm still going to state somebody got mad at me today because I told them they got mad, called me because they misread my statement, and I said something to the references that they were like, well, this should be enough. And I said, this still is not going to be enough to persuade any of them, because it was never about the games. Because if it was about anything, they would have shut Sony down and said, they have done everything that they have bent over. They, being Microsoft, has bent, the Microsoft and Activision have bent over backwards to appease you. Yet you have not offered Microsoft anything. The only reason MLB, and let's not get this twisted, the only reason MLB the show is on Xbox is because MLB owns the license. That's the reason. It does not have anything to do with it.
And they told them they wanted on everything.
As well as they should, because you know what? We want to make money. That's what that's about. That is what that is about.
Yep.
But name, like, if Microsoft said, okay, and this is, if I was Microsoft, I'm like, okay, let's play this game this certain way. Go to the EU, CMA. Okay, we will give them this for 15. That means they have to redevelop Spider-Man 1 and 2 and put it on the Xbox. And we'll give them a 15-year deal.
Yeah, because they show enough hoarding that Spider-Man. They like, nope.
They own. Nope. That's my point. But nope. Why they don't own that IP? So why hasn't the EU said anything about it? Well, you're not bringing anything to Xbox. Xbox is to me. If you want to make a concession, then everybody should come to the table and get something out the deal. Sony just wants the deal to fail.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't Xbox say they got 58 or 59 games waiting to put on PlayStation?
I think they said they have already put that many games on PlayStation.
Because Minecraft, you can play that.
Well, that did you not see when Jazz put that up in the very beginning? That's in PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, I know. That's my point. You can play, like, I can play. I literally played with people on PlayStation, cross-play on Minecraft. It's possible. Done it.
PC,
multiple times.
Sony,
a couple other games too. What's that other game?
I played Destiny
too. Only reason why I bring up Minecraft is because Minecraft is a huge one. That's a huge one with a lot of popularity, and they
I'm assuming they talk about Bethesda games too.
Now, no one ever says anything. The EU didn't go after Sony and say, "Hey, Hogwarts, that's not, you don't own that IP," but you surely can't see anything else out there that says, "Hey, it only marketed with PlayStation." You see it and you'll think it's a PlayStation game. Even if you look at Atomic Heart, Microsoft has, I think, some of the marketing rights. But when you see it, the commercial, it says Xbox, PlayStation, PC. Hogwarts says PlayStation. But see, we don't say anything about Sony's marketing deals. No one says one thing about that. That's why I say they all are hypocrites. If you're going to approach it and say you want everything to be fair and level playing field, make the playing field level for everyone. Don't play these games.
Level for everybody who ain't my favorite.
So, and as far as Lulu Chang, I think she's Lulu Chang Messervy. I don't want to butcher her name. I think she holds her ground. I put out a couple of notes that said, hey, if the deal goes through, which I hope it does, but I don't think it is, she and Sarah Bond should run Activision Blizzard. That would be
a foot in the door already. Boy, so.
That would be a force to deal with. That would be a force to deal with. Although she's in external affairs, I think, or I know she's isn't she Lulu Chang external affairs?
You should say that too.
Oh, they wouldn't do it, but hey,
With all the bad stuff going on in Activision, we're gonna put a woman as the head CEO of Activision and everything. They should let them know that too. Change the whole culture.
I just think that if they put her up front, she and Sarah Bond, co-CEOs, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Because I think those two could run that company. Well, they can run Activision, Blizzard, two companies come together. They all both will report to Phil. But again, I don't see the deal going through. I'm holding to it. If the EU says something, if the CMA, now I wish Microsoft had the wherewithal, because if the EU passes it and the CMA says no, then I'd be like, okay, we won't bring Call of Duty. We'll put it in a separate publishing company and let them publish it, and we'll finish this deal. But I'm waiting for this to get screwed over. And I'm waiting for the US government outside of the FTC. I'm waiting for our representatives in Congress to say, hey, wait a minute. We may be against big tech, US big tech, but we can't have our big companies getting screwed around the world for nothing. Because I'm sorry, and this is not fanboy issues, this is just stating facts. I do not see an issue with this. None whatsoever. I just see this as being Sony being selfish.
Mhm. And how much of a percentage would it take? If it was what 20% of they 80, so it'd be like what 50, 60, 50, 70 still?
Do you actually think, and I don't, I'm asking you this question, everyone, even if Microsoft had Activision Blizzard, do you think, and 10 Cent also is on board, but 10 Cent is self-serving.
They
Because
like, I want that cloud. I want them
well,
on that
not
cloud.
only, well, they in cloud too, but they want to say, 10 Cent is huge, but they don't want themselves to be the next target. They need somebody just as big as them. So they need somebody else to say, wait a minute, we're not the only big cahoots. They are very much self-serving. So when they sign their name to the dotted line, I'm like, okay, whatever. You doing this to be self-serving.
I'll be looking at them next.
And that's why. So those are our topics tonight. Anybody else has anything else to say on those topics?
I just thought of something. I was about to say another positive about like Microsoft buying Activision and Blizzard is that they will help straighten them up. They'll help straighten up Activision and Blizzard from being like a train wreck of a company to work with.
Oh yeah, they are. Yes. That's why Double
Yeah.
stated that it would be nice to have two women running the company, or a woman running the company. But me, I would say Lulu Chang and Sarah Bond.
Exactly. Right. But that's all.
Did we hit all our topics? Anything else you guys want to say?
I think we hit most of them except the Game Pass. That's about it.
Oh yeah, what do you guys think? Let's hit that real quick. What do you guys think about Game Pass launching everywhere except here? And I don't think it's going to launch here until after we get any good news, if we do, because I can see it as a double whammy grand slam with a Game Pass if Microsoft acquires, and I still doubt it, Activision Blizzard. I can see them doing that at E3 saying, excuse me?
So Family Game Pass?
Yeah, Family Game Pass. And it launched in Switzerland, South Africa, and a couple other countries.
Sweden, Chile, Hungary,
Chile,
Israel, New Zealand, South. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, they're going to announce it at E3.
Well, it would be a grand slam if they had Activision Blizzard and say we're dumping all that old IP from Activision Blizzard, Call of Duty 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, with all of them in Game Pass the day after E3, and with Game Pass for Family. To me, if I was Microsoft, I still think if you giving away 5 memberships for $25, that's too cheap. I'm sorry, that's too cheap. for 5 people that can play Game Pass, and
maybe 5 for 40.
they're not gonna go that expensive. But people, to me, are unrealistic. They're like, well, Microsoft should do it $5 a person. To me, I think $30 for 3 people is good. Well, that's still $10, but I would say 4 for 30. You still saving, but they're going to be or 5 for 30. But I wouldn't. I think 5 for $21 or 5 for $25. That's too cheap. That is too cheap, and that is unsustainable as a family plan.
Yeah.
And to me, that's too cheap, and I think that's where then the next year they'll have to go up, because to me, I pay what $16.70 or whatever plus tax, whatever the tax is, but it's 15. Is it $14.99 for Game Pass Ultimate a month or $15.99?
It's $14.99.
That's what I just asked you.
It's $14.99.
Okay, and that's Ultimate. Now,
yeah.
Now is Game Pass PC? I mean Game Pass Family. Is that going to allow you to do PC as well? I don't think so. I don't see how that. Yeah, because either it's just going to be Xbox or is it going to be Xbox and PC? Because then you making I don't see how that's sustainable. To me, I don't see it sustainable. Now I would see Xbox and then if they get Candy Crush and all that other crap with Activision Blizzard, I still see that even if they offer that for 5 for $29 for 5 people for $29.99 a month is still a great deal when Ultimate costs $15 a person. You can't tell me that that's not a good deal. And I'm saying it from a gamer's perspective.
Yeah.
So, but
maybe it just be Game Pass. It won't. I don't think they include Ultimate in that.
I don't think. You're right, because I don't see how that's profitable with Game Pass Ultimate. Because then you throwing in EA, and if you throw in EA want their cut.
Yeah. So it'll probably just be Game Pass.
Yeah, just be Game Pass. Okay, people. I can see it too. I'm looking forward. Well, I'll probably get it if it's Ultimate, and then just give a couple away because I'm not going to play it. To my family.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's get off here. Everyone who's listening or stayed to listen, thank you for showing up. Thank you for giving us your Thursday evening and listen to us talk about gaming, something that we like to do, something that we play, something that takes the stress from our lives and what we enjoy doing. And I guess let me just say again, like and subscribe. We're trying to grow. We're trying to grow. We're trying to grow. So please like and subscribe to the channel and tell everybody else if you have a Twitter page or Twitter or YouTube or whatever, please copy the link and send it to your friends and tell them to give us a watch, give us a listen. We want to grow so we can let more people hear our unbiased comments, because we don't try to be biased. Some things we have to be biased on that warrants bias, but I think most of us are 100% objective. That's a misnomer. We try to be objective. Right, as much as possible to be objective. I don't like stupidity, so I am biased against stupidity. Yeah, I'll admit that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair, right? I just wanted to make sure I'm fair.
I would say we don't have our favorite.
Yes.
We all have our favorite.
We have our favorite. There is nothing wrong with having your favorite because that's your preference. And I'm biased like that when it comes to my favorite. I have a PlayStation. I will buy the next Switch, but I stayed out of this one. I have old Switches. I have all the PlayStations, et cetera, as well as all of us on this panel. But again, everyone, thank you for joining us on this Thursday night. Where can we find everyone? They're going to do their outros. So, Lady Jazz, where can we find you?
You can find me here every Thursday with the crew. Twitch, stream. Jazzymoto, same on all platforms. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. So, yep.
Okay. What about you, Mega?
Hey, it's Mega Elixir, and I'll be here every Thursday at 7 o'clock p.m. Central here in the Gamers DMZ podcast. Um, I have a YouTube channel, a Twitter, and a Twitch. And yeah, that's about it.
All right. OG.
You can find me here every Thursday with the crew. I always enjoy talking games with everybody. And you can also find us on Facebook at All Things Geeky. You're welcome to come. And that's it.
Okay. And Serge, where can we find you? And I know you always twitching and showing us your gaming. So where are you?
I'm over here, Sir Rich Gaming on Facebook, everywhere else, Sir Rich. That includes Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, as well as you can find me here with everybody else. We're going to be here talking, and you know our conversations get juicy juice.
You and those words, boy.
Juicy juice. Vitamin C.
Okay. I'm the one. You can find me on it. You can find me on Xbox as the one, PlayStation as the one. I used to be the one even on Nintendo. I don't think I haven't played so long, so I don't think I'm the one there anymore. The Gamers DMZ 19 on Twitter and the one Gamers DMZ on Twitch. I will be doing some Twitch streaming tomorrow night, probably after 6 o'clock Central Standard Time or early, depends on what time I finish getting some projects done. But other than that, yeah, I'll be gaming over the weekend. Hopefully, if I have time. Oh, I will not be gaming last night. I forgot. One of my buddies having a party tomorrow night. He and his wife. So I'll be gaming at least till from 4 o'clock, at least. Hopefully 4 to 6, because the party's at 8. So I won't be gaming tomorrow night. Yuck.
Party.
Speaking of party,
Taco tequila party. Go ahead.
That sounds dope.
Yeah.
Go ahead, man.
I forgot to mention that this Saturday is my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Really?
Happy early birthday.
You a Pisces?
Yep.
Oh, then you. No wonder I give you a hard time. I'm a Pisces. My birthday was yesterday. I could have remembered that. Yeah.
No wonder y'all remind me of my brother. Both of you.
Double, you got to get him a game for his birthday.
You got him one.
Oh, okay. Well, Mega, I did try to help you out.
He beat you to the punch, though. So.
Well, tell him you want another one. Okay, so, lady.
Yeah, all right, man.
He's like, all right,
He said another one.
Spend all my money on myself.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for showing up tonight, and please give us a like and subscribe. Like I said, we're trying to grow. You can catch the lady and gentlemen on the various YouTube channels, Twitch, Twitter, things of that nature, and you will catch us here next week. Again, like and subscribe. With that being said, we're going to let Sir Rich take us out.
All right, y'all, it's time for the holla holla. Holla holla holla. Holla 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 holla. Holla 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 holla. Holla 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 at you. Holla at you, baby. Holla at you. Holla holla. Holla at you. Holla at you. Holla at you. Holla 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 holla. Holla at you. Holla 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 holla. Holla 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 holla. Holla 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 holla. Holla holla holla. Holla 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 holla. Holla 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 holla. Holla 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 holla.